So I'm 19. My parents divorced after I dropped out of college at 17. And I'll be honest, I felt like a mess. My emotional regulation wasn't there. I was drinking, smoking, taking risks that could have ended in the death of my life. You know when you're confused about your purpose, what you thought was growth ended up being self-destruction. When your identity wasn't formed from love and instead through survival, you adapt to build your image rather than your internal state. And that's why I was violent but terrified of confrontation. Aggressive but filled with the urge to be patiently loved. It got to a point where I finally realized environment shapes everything. And if I wanted to make a change, I'd have to wash away old friends, find peace at another shore. I can't keep feeding off the meals that poison me. So at 17, I dropped out of college and decided to cut off my friends, isolate myself, and relearn what it's like to be me. Not the version of myself I curated around what was popular, but the side of me that got shut down as a kid. This has been the most painful 2 years of my life, seeking comfort in women to replace the void I felt couldn't be filled by my parents. Trying to control my emotions, the guidance my father never left for me. I was sensitive, and every day felt like a movie, and the ending was always a mental disaster. But if you want to change, it has to be dramatic. If you're stuck in a hopeless cycle, you need to violently chase real growth. And that's what I did. I got back on my feet and started boxing. I faced fears of uncertainty. I let fear turn into productive pressure. This led me to cutting off my bad habits with confidence. No smoking, no masturbating. It was up and down. I wasn't perfect, yet I was way better than before. My first boxing match was the time I realized I was a man. That I didn't need to know the outcome to give it my all. That life comes with risks and sometimes you fail, but you'll never even get close to winning if you don't try your hardest. I won that fight in front of my mum. She didn't understand what that battle meant to me at the time, and that's what pains me as a young man. Because when you want to be heard, when you want to be validated, and the one person who is closest to you can't even comprehend your cries, it feels empty. But I accepted that. The moment I let go of thinking life had all the resolutions and suffering would come to an end and I'm just broken, I felt revived. I walked into every moment of life with the mentality that pain is inevitable. Sadness is unavoidable, and everything I'll ever do in this life will never be easy, even if it feels like it could be. And that's where I'm at now. So I'm 19, I'm making this work, and you can too. It doesn't stop there though. Starting your journey is the hardest step. The rest of it only hurts 5% less because it never gets easier. It never gets comfortable. You have to consistently check your own behavior. You have to constantly remind yourself that some things in your life you can't control. That's the way the world is designed. You can only master your inner self, and that comes with rewards. It comes with influence. Not the "oh, he's entertaining" type of influence. The "wow, his presence carries something I can't put into words." That's the type of strength we need as men. To end these broken homes, to be the fathers we didn't have, to protect our peace from the women who haven't healed themselves. Life will never be smooth sailing. I didn't expect to end up with a woman of my dreams who's perfect. Anything can happen in this life, even if that means fatality. Being prepared doesn't mean being numb to those outcomes. It means mastering yourself in your current environment, to prove to yourself that the past version of you will never define what you can become. So when life gets rough, you never make excuses for bad habits to slip in, or doubts to tell you there's no point in trying. Once you think like that, you reset all your progress. I've been there multiple times, and I refuse to ever end up in that state again. It's appalling what we've come to as a generation. Tired dreamers who never give it their all. It's like 100% doesn't even exist in our minds anymore because it got shut down by all the other people in front of us that never tried. We're lucky to have social media. It's a blessing and a curse because we get to see the limits that we never thought existed. And then their resentment grows and their bad habits don't get changed. And then survival becomes sitting in your addictions rather than making them productive. And the cycle goes on. We need strength. We need power. Not to take over the world, to take control over ourselves. To stop being slaves to urges that don't serve the identity we know sits within our heart. One step at a time, one good habit a day. That's how you make a change.